So, quickly I will work with, I will give you some, well basically I am showing you how to work with C arrays. Okay. If you are working with OpenACC, OpenMP, MPI, then we need to know about arrays. Okay. That is very critical. And so, an arrays involves pointers. So, let us redo that discussion we did in the past. I did not do it very well. Well, I did not do a very detailed discussion. So, 2D arrays, 3D arrays, that is part of your project. If you are working with C, then you need this lecture. Some of you may know already, but it is a revision if you do not know. Well, if you know it is a revision, if you do not know, then it is new. So, I will work with C, but C++ is very similar. Okay. So, and these codes work with C++ as well. So, by the way, C++ is superset. So, C code typically will run okay with, will compile with G++. So, we discuss C pointers, no. So, a pointer stores the address of a variable, and arrays are handled by pointers in C. So, let us but first discuss about a variable very quickly. I have done this in the past, but let me just do it again. So, if variable x, there is a variable x, it could be any variable, it could be real, float, double, integer, boolean. So, x is stored somewhere and I want to know the address where it is stored. Then you say p equal to ampersand x. So, this ampersand is a address getter. Okay. So, it gets the address, it is an operator. So, it acts on any variable and it gets the address. There could be other operation, well I want reverse. So, given the address I want to know what is there inside. So, you can say well this is called indirection operation star. So, p is a pointer which is address, and if I put star p, then I will get the variable. Okay. Now, of course, C is a very strict language. So, all the variables are to be declared as integer, double, whatever. Okay. So, pointer also has to be declared. So, is it pointing to integer, is it pointing to a float? So, that has to be declared. So, p is also declared. So, let us look at it in an example. So, I have integer 10. So, int x equal to 10. So, int star pointer. So, pointer is a basically address. Okay. So, if I put int star, that means it is a pointer to an address. Is a pointer basically, is pointed to a variable, sorry, is a pointer, is addressed to a variable, I should correct, addressed to a variable. And how do I get the pointer? Pointer equal to ampersand x, I just showed you, and that is we do it. And if I want content of x, then I put a star pointer, this is star pointer. So, illustrated here. So, C variable x. So, x equal to 10, int x equal to 10. Okay. So, this is what I put here. So, 10 is stored here, x is the name of the variable, and the address is here. Well, it was taken from the real, I ran it and I got a number, I just put it for the sample. Now, I want to know where it is stored, then what do? I say int star p, p is ampersand x. So, ampersand is address getter. So, it will get it. So, if I say what is p, then it will get me the address. So, this is same as this, these two are same. But the p is also stored somewhere, the p is a variable, this is address where is a variable, and it is also stored at some other location. Okay. So, there are two variables x and p. Of course, p is a different kind of variable, and both of them are stored and they have different addresses. If I want to get the address of p, then you have to put star star. Okay. So, rather sorry, ampersand of p. So, ampersand of p will give you this address. but you have to declare pointer to pointer. Okay. So, I am going to come to that with arrays. Okay. So, this example we did it, if you want you can just look at it here. So, print x and star pointer. So, it gives you x is 10, but what is contained in that variable the location pointer is 10, and I want the pointer, then it is given here. So, it is the pointer. Now, 1D static array. So, we also need to know what is static array and what is a dynamic array. Okay. So, if my number of variables are fixed, number of variables in an array, or number of array size is fixed, then we will say it is a static array. Okay. So, in this example, I declare a array A of size 4, B of size 4, C of size 4, but this is not a general code. By the way, please keep in mind that this code is compiled, okay, and it generates object code. Suppose I want to change n, what do I need to do? I will go inside the code and change this n to from 4 to some whatever I want, 8, 16. But if you write a big code, and do you want some user to change the code inside? User will be terrified to change the code inside, no? User does not want to get inside the code. So, I do not want to buy this software. So, you want this n to be generated dynamically, depend on the user's need. So, then these arrays can be generated dynamically, then it is called dynamic array. Okay. Depending on the user's demand or even system's demand, it can be generated on the when the program is running. Okay. It can be in fact changed also. Okay. So, let us look at this code. So, I have main code, and I also put some functions which are used for calling the parameters. So, I generate n equal to 4, I create these arrays A n, B n, C n. So, this is how we create a static arrays, easy, and I initialize them and I call two functions, add and add 2. There is slight difference in add and add 2. Okay. So, let us see add function. So, how do I pass A as a parameter? Okay. So, I pass either as a square bracket open close, B square bracket open close, C square bracket open close, okay, or pass as a pointers. Remember, I had said star. By the way, these also fine. So, star either you put before the variable or put after int. So, the way we often do this, like int star A B C, or actually okay. So, or actually let us say P A P B P C, these are pointers. So, instead of putting star P A, star P B, star P C, you put star in the left. You get the idea? This will also work, P A star P B star P C. Okay, I have not tried it, but it should work. Okay. So, this is telling you that P A, P B, P C are pointers, they are locations. This does not mean a star is not acting here right now, it does not, this is a declaration. Star P A does not mean this is some number. It is telling the compiler that P A should be location address. Okay. So, anyway, so these are two ways to do it. Now, one thing you should know, that A is not copied while calling the function. You understand, no? This call by reference. So, if you, in fact, is by design. If A is copied, then will be huge loss of memory. Right? Not loss, I mean, you have duplication of memory. These arrays could be terabytes of, or at least gigabytes of data. You do not want to keep copying. So, your reference is allocated once, and then you refer to it and you update it. So, of course, you have to make sure that your function is updating the, well, you know that function is updating the arrays. Okay. So, it is updating here and here. So, there are two ways to parse the arrays. Now, how do I access the array elements? This is standard, I mean everybody knows about this, but you can also references or acquire a star a plus I. What is it going to do? So, this picture I should have drawn. So, this is my array A. So, A is the address. So, A0 is there, no, A0. So, this address, let us say address is 1001. So, A will contain the address, but I want to get to A1. What do I do? I go to the next address, but this address is not bytes, this address is the integer. The next address will be the next value in the array. So, this will be 1002, 1003. So, these are addresses. Okay. So, if I have address A is, when I say A, this one, A is the address, A is not name of the array, unlike Fortran. So, when I say A plus I, what will that be? So, I go to ith variable in the thing by, well, its location of the ith variable of the array. And how do I go inside? I put a star. So, this is what is giving us the location. So, this is nothing but AI. I start from 0 to, okay, I start from 0 and I get BI, and that is how we do it. So, this is C. Is it clear to everyone? So, I can, this is equally good line as this. Of course, this is bit clumsy, I mean normally people would write like that. So, this is what I am illustrating here, this what I wanted to say. So, we have A0, A1, A2, A4. So, my A is, in fact, I just took it from the computer. So, A is the location, this one, and is also a pointer to A0. I just told you in the last slide. Okay. So, I can get A0 by star pointer. Okay. So, in fact, this example will tell you that if I declare int star pointer equal to A, that means pointer will contain the address of A0, and you can get the value by these functions or by A0, A1, A2 like that. Okay. What about ampersand? Is it allowed? Ampersand A1, what will that be? Pointer plus 1, this will be pointer plus 1. Okay. So, you can also get the location by this. So, C is very, I mean, is also lower level language, is higher as well as lower level language. You can get pretty much inside the memory, you can manipulate, and it was by design. If C was the language for Unix operating system. Okay. So, operating system is written in C. Okay. Now, let us look at dynamic arrays. So, how do I create arrays? First, given the size, I should be able to create arrays, no? So, you read, okay, now I am going to do this at the end, okay. So, I should, well, this is at the end of the lecture. So, you are reading n from the, okay, this is the way you read it. I will come to that at the end, okay. So, this is my executable, no, a dot out, and I put 5. So, 5 is the argument for number of array variables. In a normal code, in large codes, we create some file called para.d or para.data. Okay. So, this contains variable size, various parameters, no, I mean array size, viscosity, for astrophysics it will be galaxy size and all that stuff will be there. Okay. So, I am going to come to that. So, this n will be basically this 5 will go in there. Okay. And then you create a pointer a, and then you do this thing called a equal to int star. So, this is telling us that it is integer array, malloc, this is a function. Malloc is memory allocation, short form malloc, n star size of int. So, what is it telling you? That I reserve how many bytes of data? N times size of int, that much a byte of memory is reserved for A. Okay. A will sit there, my array will sit there, and this is what I want, I mean dynamically. So, given n, which is user chooses it, I can generate n, generate the array. So, now after that I can do a loop, I can assign to AI. So, my array is ready after malloc. Is that clear to everyone? So, malloc is a function in C. C++ is called new. Okay. So, but we will not cover C++ right now, we just malloc. And the output of this function is output of this main program is print AI and AI. So, I am just assigning AI equal to I. So, 0 0 1 1 2 2 like that. I hope everyone knows how to use print, right. So, let us look at it. So, well, this is straightforward. So, this is a formatter, is format. So, I will come, AI will come, but this percentage d means is an integer. Okay. So, and 2% d means integer will be, integer variable value will be printed, and slash n is the next line. So, I take the value of I and put it here, value of AI I put it there. So, this is a, you are telling you what kind of data you are expecting. Okay, it is bit you need to do more work. In C++ it would have been C out, I, AI. Typically you do not need to specify the format, I mean the data type. Okay. Dynamic array, array is an argument. How do I pass argument of dynamic array? Can you pass, well, it has to be a pointer. Okay. So, is passed as a pointer. So, I pass a pointer, okay, straightforward. So, this is a pointer A is there. So, I just pass a pointer. This is the same code as before, but I am showing you how to pass a dynamic array. Okay. 1D is clear.